Well, just recently at the inaugural meeting of the Africa Champions Group, an initiative of business and manufacturing stakeholders in the continent, the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, called for greater integration of African economies to enable the continent to develop free trade among AU member nations. According to him, regional integration is a necessary requirement for the continent's development, but had sadly remained at very low levels. Now let's discuss this with an expert in trade, Mr. John Isemide. Good morning. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, viewers at home.
Right. Regional integration, that seems to be a tall order for the African governments. But then let's even start with us, ECOWAS. If we haven't got it right within the ECOWAS country, how do we now get it right within the continent? An instance is the eco-currency. I mean, shouldn't this actually be a base for the regional integration?
Thank you very much. Let me start. You cannot talk of economic integration without political maneuvering. If you look at the continent of Africa, there are 55 countries, but 54 independent countries with over 32 different currencies. How many of these currencies are convertible? So if you look at Africa, prior to independence, we were in our loose groupings. The first country that got independence in Africa was Liberia in 1847. Between 1847 and 1910, there was no independence. All right, in 1884, 1885, the Bali Conference, what was discussed? How to share Africa into markets. So now we are talking of integration when we don't have free borders. So in Europe, we have free borders. That is the issue. We are just copying, we are not copying well. If you narrow it down to West Africa, out of the 60, let us start from the EU. After the Second World War, the Prime Minister of the UK was the first who said we need a stronger Europe, and stronger Europe that we should form an economic bloc. And the negotiation started in 1951. By 1957, the Treaty of Rome was signed. How many members at that time? There were only 6. Germany, 2 countries because of the war. West Germany, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. And it was in 1971 that the UK, Ireland, and Denmark joined. Rules were put in place on integration, on free movement, common external tariff, and all that. Unlike ECOWAS, it was not actually formed by West Africans. It was formed because of the agreement on the Lomé Convention 1. You come together before we can assist you. That was why the agreement was signed on the 28th of February 1975 in Lagos. And at that ceremony, what did we see? There were 16 members. 15 were present at the signing ceremony. The only country that was not there was Cape Verde because of flight connection. Today, we still have the same problem. On the Christmas Day 2000, Mauritania opted out because there is no free movement of goods and services. So let us know where we are coming from, that you cannot talk of integration without political maneuvering. Most of these countries in West Africa or in East Africa and all that, for instance, let us take the blocks. There are 8 different blocks in Africa. The North, the ECOWAS, the Central Africa, the SADC, SACU, the East Africa. Then again, you have some overlap. In ECOWAS, we have 2 parallel bodies, all working side by side, the Francophone and the Anglophone. That is why when you are doing business in West Africa, with the Francophone, it is import and export. Where Francophone is doing business with another Francophone, it is local arrival. So as time goes on, we'll be able to expatiate further. All
right. I did mention the eco-currency.
The eco-currency, we are only wasting our time saying of eco-currency. Let us be very honest with ourselves. In West Africa, we have 16 countries. If we remove Mauritania, that is 15 plus 1, out of which we have 10 different currencies. And out of the 10 different currencies, only 1 is convertible, which is the Francophone CFA. Between 1960 and 1970, it was 1 naira to 1,000 CFA. Today it's 1 to 1 because it's tied to the French franc. If you take Mauritania, Guiawa is little or nothing to write home about. The Ghanaian Dalasi is the strongest in West Africa. It's not convertible. The Guinea-Bissau peso, they opted to join the CFA in 1995. Then if you talk of the Ghanaian cedi, You know what happened 10 years ago? That $1 US was about 10,000 cedi, but today, as at the time it was denominated, it was $1 US to less than 1 cedi. But within a period of 10 years, the dollar has depreciated by 600%. Today, it's 4.5 cedis to $1 US. Then, if you look at the Francophone countries, this currency was introduced during the First and Second World War to pay the West African and Central African soldiers tied to the French franc. When the franc can surrender to the euro, what happened? It's automatically the euro. Here we have governor of central bank. In the Francophone, we don't have governor of central bank. Here you talk of MPR, you talk of interest rate, you talk of exchange rate. In the Francophone, what you have, they are currency centers. The currency is owned by France. So when you talk of single currency, we are only confusing ourselves. That is why people think about America and UK and China thinking that is the solution to our problem. We need to use our first level and those who have the knowledge to move this country forward. You cannot talk of single currency where Nigeria, the Naira, is not convertible, the CD is not convertible, the Liberia, even there was in Liberia we had two different currencies, the United States dollar and the Liberian dollar. Then you have the leo, then you have the peso, which has been overtaken by this thing, and you have the Ghanaian dalasi. You put this together, how many years now have we been telling us in Premier Towers in Ghana that you have a single currency? Is the Francophone part of this? Because the currency does not belong to them. The currency belongs to France. Unless we have two parallel currencies, one for the Anglophone and the Lusophone, which is Anglophone and the Portuguese, and the Francophone currency. But talking of a single currency in West Africa is a tall order. West Africa is not ready for a single currency.